Solving equations. Level 4 is everybody's favorite word problems. Alright, now if your face looks like this, I'm going to need you to calm down, alright? Because here's the problem that I think most people have with word problems. You don't really know where to start. So what we're going to do is go through this video and I'm going to give you a process to kind of work through. Every word problem is different, but if we follow these steps, it should give you a place to start from, alright? And hopefully they won't be as scary to you anymore. So here's our word problem that we're working through. 331 students went on a field trip, 6 buses were filled, and 7 students traveled in cars. How many students were in each bus? So whenever you have a word problem, first thing you need to identify is, what are you being asked to find? Usually it's right by the question mark. So find the question mark. What do they want you to figure out? How many students were in each bus? So how many students in a bus? That's what they want you to figure out, okay? That is an unknown. We don't know, okay? So in algebra, when we don't know something, we assign it a variable, okay? So I'm going to give it x. X equals number of students on a bus because I don't know how many there are right now. Alright, so x is number of students on a bus. So eventually when I get to writing my equation, x is going to be equal to the number of students on a bus. Alright, step 3, write a verbal equation. Alright, explain the situation in words. Sometimes we don't know how to write things mathematically, but you can explain to me what's going on. And this is where everything is kind of different and you have to think a little bit. So, but here's some common questions. Alright, are you finding a total? Is there a one-time payment or fee? Sometimes it's like I pay like your phone bill, you have a one-time like activation fee and then it's the same every month after that. Alright, is there a discount? Are we breaking things up into groups? Ask yourself these questions. Alright, here are some common situations. Alright, we're buying things. Maybe we go to 7-Eleven and buy 5 Gatorades and 5 waters. So it would be the cost of waters times how many we bought plus the cost of Gatorades times how many we bought. Okay, total salary is a common one. So how much do you make an hour? How many hours did you work? So in this case, all right, we want the number of buses, all right, times the number of students on each bus. That would give us how many students are on the buses, right? And then we have to add in the 7 students in the car plus the 7 in cars. And that will give me the total students. Alright, and then we're going to do what we did in chapter 1. We're going to translate that into algebra. So, number of buses. How many buses did they take on this trip? 6 buses were filled. So, 6 buses. Times the number of students that were on a trip on each bus. We don't know. We said that was x. So 6 times x plus my 7 students in the car equals the total number of students. How many students went on this field trip? 331. So 6x plus 7 equals 331. Alright, then we have to solve the equation. So just like we've been doing this whole chapter. Alright, I'm going to put my variable term in a box and get rid of what's outside. So minus 7 minus 7. So now I have 6x equals 324. Alright, and now all I have left is my box, so I need to divide by what's inside. 324 divided by 6 would be 54. So I got x equals 54. Alright, then the last thing is add appropriate units to your answer, okay? Because we're not just dealing with random numbers, these numbers are in context. So what does that 54 mean? Okay, so we said way back at the beginning that x was going to be equal to the number of students on a bus. So that means that our answer says that there are 54 students on each bus. Alright? And then the last thing that you're always going to do with word problems is check that your answer makes sense. Okay, would it make sense to say we are going to put 54 students on a bus? Yeah, that's possible. You could put 54 kids on a bus. That would be totally reasonable. Okay, but what if we had something like negative 2.43? We got x equals negative 2.43. All right, can we put negative 2.43 children on a bus? All right. Either we made a mistake in our calculations when we were solving that equation, or we did not set up something correctly, because to have negative 2.43 children, I have to have negative kids and I have to cut them into pieces, and that's very, very wrong. Okay, so make sure that your answer makes sense in terms of what you're talking about in the problem. And that's it for level 4.